Yo, what up, everybody? What up? All right, let's see who's in the live. How many people we got in here? Why the hell? Yeah, 3 people in here. All right, I'll put a announcement in my Discord. Let everybody I'm not. Oh my god, I can't talk. Let everybody know I'm live. Go my streams. We are live now. Corner to everyone, so people can come in. All right. Cool. All right, we got 6 people in here. I'm gonna let a few more people come in, and then we can start. But how is everybody doing? Everybody who's in here, how are we doing? I got a couple of topics to talk about today, some updates, and some other stuff. I want to talk about that's Teen Wolf related. So just making sure everything is good before we start here. Let me go on. Oh, if you guys didn't already notice, obviously, if you're here, you know. Went back to the old logo. So, yeah, the one where it has me with like the werewolf face, that is gone. I might replace it with something else down the line. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of wanted to, with my channel coming back like fully in September when I get monetized again. Because if you guys didn't know, I got kicked out the partner program last month. For violating YouTube's terms of service, which is why you literally saw all my YouTube shorts disappear. I had to get rid of them because they didn't align with YouTube guidelines. So yeah, all my YouTube shorts are pretty much gone. And like the trailers I reposted for Teen Wolf, the movie and whatnot, they're gone too. So I lost like 100 videos, which sucks, but it is what it is. But with my return in September, I kind of wanted to go back to the roots of the channel. Teen Wolf, the movie's long gone, over with. So we can go back to making regular content. I don't have to grind out Teen Wolf, the movie updates like I was doing like crazy last year. So yeah, we're back to doing regular uploads. Fantasy fights coming back in full swing. What ifs, discussions. I'm gonna do react to the entire Teen Wolf series, and then like theory videos, I guess, on like certain things that happened in Teen Wolf will come back to. Basically, everything I was doing before Teen Wolf, the movie, got announced is coming back, pretty much. And with higher quality, of course, since my technology to make uploads and make videos has improved drastically since. I don't know what it's like. There's these little I don't know if you guys can see like these little floaty things like flying. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Real quick before we start, if you guys didn't already know, I'm gonna share my screen. For those of you who are on the live and have not seen this yet, let me share my screen over here. For those of you who don't know, let me actually fix my camera. All right, that's better. All right, so the True Alpha official launch trailer for Book 1 dropped on both the main channel and my True Alpha channel. It dropped here as well. So yeah, go check that out if you guys haven't seen the True Alpha Book 1 launch trailer. It's pretty good. I made it myself. Book 1's been out literally for a month as of today. And a lot more people have been asking, where can they find the book? How can they read it? So watch those trailers and you'll pretty much find out there where you can get the book. As you can see right here on the channel tab, or the banner right here, I guess. Book 2 is scheduled to come out next May. Working on stuff for that right now in the background for True Alpha. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. Really enjoying writing Book 2. I think that the opening and just the first chapter of Book 2 in general was 100 times better than True Alpha Book 1's introduction. So that just goes to show the quality of my writing and how much it's improved over the last year. So yeah, just wanted to let y'all know in case you didn't see it. But we have like 8 people. I'm sure more people will come in and come out as we go on. I didn't want to be on here for like more than an hour, so I'm gonna just kind of breeze through everything real quick and just call it a day. So if you guys couldn't tell by the title of the stream, we're going to be talking about the Beacon Hills High Reunion Convention that's happening in October. We got some more updates and news on that. We're going to be talking about the SGA writer strike and how it will affect Teen Wolf and Wolfpack going forward, because I haven't talked about the writer strike yet, and it has been going on for a couple of months. And I'm pretty sure, at least in my opinion, that's the reason why we haven't gotten Teen Wolf the Movie 2 or Wolfpack Season 2 announcement. So we'll talk about that as well. Then the last thing we'll close out with is, of course, True Alpha Book 2, what I just talked about. We have some updates on that. We got, of course, new covers I finished recently. And Book 2 is really starting to move along. We're starting to promote it a lot now. It's been getting promoted like crazy on my socials. So, yeah, we are literally deep into the Book 2 era for True Alpha, and I'm very excited about that. So, without further ado, let's talk about Beacon Hills Highs first. We're going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to go on the Beacon Hills High website and share with you guys the new news that I have acquired from the people running the event. All right, now I'm going to share my screen. All right, so if you guys do not remember, in the last live stream I did, I think like a month ago, I announced and basically told you guys that there's a Teen Wolf convention happening in Georgia in October from the 26th to the 29th. It's called Beacon Hills High Reunion. It's the first ever like Teen Wolf like solo convention that's not at like a Comic-Con or not at some event where there's like other TV shows there. This is going to be solo Teen Wolf, which is pretty cool. I got to DM like the people running the event because I had questions of my own, and they've been nice to me. Like they've been really kind. So yeah, shout out to the people running the Beacon Hills High event. Y'all are awesome. Y'all have answered all my questions every time I've asked, and they've been like questions that like I guess any person who is like interested in going would ask. So yeah, shout out to them. And they gave me a personal link to join their Facebook group, which is also pretty cool too. So yeah. But about the event, my question I had for them was basically, since the SGA writer strike is still happening at the moment, will all the actors be able to attend the event still, or will everything get canceled? And basically, in short, their response was no, all the actors will still be able to come. The SGA writer strike, as of yet, has not affected the event, and it probably won't. So, yeah, and that'll lead us into the next update I have for you guys, which is they announced more guests. I think last time when I told you guys about it last month, it was Posey, Hecklin, and Lyndon Ashby were the only ones announced. We got more updates. All of them aren't on here because they update the stuff in the Facebook group first before they update it on the actual website. But I know guests who are coming who aren't on here, so I'll tell you guys who they are in a sec. So of course Posey. Oh no. I don't even think Lyndon was announced yet. It was Posey, Hecklin, and Gideon Emery. So of course Posey, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there all weekend. So if you want to go for all the days, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Posey will be there every day. Hecklin will be there Saturday and Sunday. If you want to meet Tyler Hecklin, he'll be there for those 2 days only. Gideon Emery, aka Deucalion, he'll be there all weekend as well, along with Tyler Posey. So that's pretty cool if you guys want to meet Deucalion. Lyndon Ashby will also be there all weekend, which is also pretty awesome because personally, I want to meet Lyndon. Like, bro, I grew up watching the Mortal Kombat 1995 film. It'd be freaking awesome to meet Johnny Cage. And I got to play as his skin in Mortal Kombat 11 a couple of weeks ago, which is awesome. I was like, bro, this is literally Lyndon Ashby, bro. Like, that's crazy. I'm literally fighting with Sheriff Stilinski in Mortal Kombat. But yeah, hopefully I get to meet Lyndon. He's one of the ones I want to meet the most. Shelly Hennig is also a new announcement who was announced recently. She will be there Saturday and Sunday. So for those of you guys who are only going to meet Shelly, she will be there the last 2 days of the event. And then the other two guests who they have yet to put on here for some reason are Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly will be at this event too. If you guys don't know who he is, he plays Jordan Parrish. Y'all know, Hellhound, whatever. Right? I think he's going to be there all weekend as well, if I can recall correctly. And then Holland Roden, aka Lydia Martin, is also going to be at this convention as well. She's going to be there, if I remember correctly, Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, much like Shelly, she's only going to be there for 2 days. So if y'all want to meet Holland, you guys can get tickets for Saturday and Sunday because they have single day tickets now. That's also a new update. They didn't have single day tickets before. They have single day tickets now. So if you guys want to get single day tickets to only go 1 or 2 days, that's cool. You can buy your tickets now on the Beacon Hills High website here. And they're supposed to have a lot more guests for this event being nearly 3 months away. I would expect them to start ramping up, who's coming and whatnot. Hopefully we get more guests announced soon, for the short amount of time I made that last live stream to this one. There's only been 3 guest announcements. So it's kind of like, bro, what's happening? Y'all promised damn near 30 guests were going to be here. Hopefully one of them is Dylan O'Brien. That would be awesome because he never comes to any of these things. So if he can come, that'd be sick. Yo, wouldn't it be something if Arden Cho came? She'd be like, yo, I saw your video on me on your YouTube channel. I'm like, oh shit. That'd be crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure in terms of announcements. So yeah. And then now you have the single day passes, the Canema Pass, Banshee Pass, Chimera Pass. Oh my god, my lisp. But yeah, they have passes for every single day or individual days if you want to go and whatnot. So yeah, everything's here, bro. I heard some discussions because I was talking to some fans in the Solo Travelers group because I think I might end up going by myself or with my mom. I'm not sure because she started watching Teen Wolf this year too, so she's a fan of the show now. Bro, it's expensive to go for the True Alpha tickets. Bro, New York Comic-Con for I think the front row seats weren't even that freaking expensive. $3,000. And I think it's only $3,000 because you get special VIP tickets to Tyler Posey's concert with the sound check party. But dude, even then, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's insane. Whoever's paying, I don't, bro. I can't. The diehards. I'm a diehard, but not where I'm paying 3,000. Bro, I'd have to have LeBron James or Kevin Durant type money to go to the True Alpha ticket and buy that. That's insane. And even $1,300 for the Alpha ticket and $1,000 for the Beta is kind of crazy too. The most I'd probably pay up to get is maybe the Omega ticket, and that's it. If I get the Omega, that'd be pretty sick. Because I can't imagine dropping $1,000 for the Beta. That'd be crazy. But yeah, that's it for the Beacon Hills High reunion updates. Hopefully you guys consider going. It'd be pretty cool to see some of you guys there. I know a couple of you guys said you were considering going, so let me know who's going. Let me know who's not. All right. So next thing, we're going to be talking about the SGA writer strike and how it's affecting Teen Wolf and how it's affecting Wolfpack moving forward. So in my opinion, I think that we haven't gotten an update on Teen Wolf the movie and Wolfpack because of this writer strike. Now, Teen Wolf the movie, of course, came out back in January, and Wolfpack, of course, but concluded in March. And then the writer strike officially started, I think, the first week of May, if I remember correctly. It was probably the first week of May. So, in my opinion, I think the writer strike is the primary reason why we haven't gotten an announcement for Teen Wolf's future or Wolfpack's future. Though I did see an update from Teen Wolf News recently that the Wolfpack cast is all reunited during the writer strike. So maybe that's kind of a hint that Wolfpack season 2 is happening. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see. For Teen Wolf, I don't know. We literally have not heard anything, but we know Jeff is under contract to do 3 films, and the first film was successful. And they said that the first film was a success. Obviously, they greenlight the 2 other sequels. So, yeah, maybe they're waiting for the writer strike to die down, and kind of get out the way so they can announce to everybody the Teen Wolf the movie sequels. Y'all know my thoughts on Teen Wolf the movie by now. Like, I don't care for it. Like, if they improve the writing and whatnot, and I can see that they have, cool. I'm down to promote Teen Wolf the movie 2 day one. You already know this, but y'all have to fix them damn issues from the first film first before I can even consider like putting my time and energy into promoting another Teen Wolf movie, because y'all highly disappointed with the first film. Not gonna cap. But Wolfpack, I have my issues with Wolfpack. Y'all know my issues. They're like public on the channel if y'all want to go watch them, I guess. From like 4 or 5 months ago, whenever the hell I last uploaded a Wolfpack video. Season 1 was not my favorite. I really didn't care. Like, the first episode started off pretty good, and then episode 2 was meh. 3 was by far the best, and then 4 and 5 and 6 seemed like season 1 was going to end on a high note, and I was kind of like, oh god, with the ending, like, it just completely, it was a waste of time essentially. So yeah, I'll consider covering Wolfpack season 2, and I'll even go back and rewatch the first season. Of course, do reactions on the channel. I'd probably start from episode 2, since it would be kind of redundant to make an episode 1 reaction again, since I already reacted to episode 1 on the channel like 5 months ago. So yeah, they would have to do some huge improvements. Like, the writing would have to improve. We would have to get more werewolf stuff, because that was a huge issue in Wolfpack season 1. So yeah, they'd have to make a couple of improvements, but if they do, and they listen to the fans, and they listen to fan feedback and responses and stuff, and they actually, aren't assholes, and they decide to change things up and do it for the better, I'll give Wolfpack a second chance, because I was hyped for Wolfpack. I was probably one of the only few people hyped for Wolfpack. When it was first announced, like, I was like, oh, this I thought it was a spinoff, but then it was revealed to not be a spinoff, and I was still hyped for it. But I was like, I'm gonna just wait and see what happens with it, because we didn't have any news for the longest time until like last summer. And then the teaser trailer at New York Comic Con was pretty dope, and then the official trailer was pretty dope as well. And then the show ended up being not all that great. So yeah, if they make improvements to Wolfpack season 2, I will 100% continue to cover it on the channel, and I'll tell you guys and be honest with you, because y'all know, when I'm not blinded by nostalgia and I'm not biased, I'm 100% honest. Like, if Wolfpack season 2 is actually pretty good, I'll let y'all know if it's pretty good or not. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I do think the writer strike is affecting everything. Like, it's affecting everything else in Hollywood. Like, goddamn Stranger Things got delayed. Thank God some of my shows that I watched, like Invincible season 2, didn't get delayed. That's coming out in November. And other stuff like that. But yeah, the writer strike is just affecting everything, and it kind of sucks, because shows we want to come back, like right now, can't come back because of whatever the hell is going on in Hollyweird. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the SGA writer strike. Whenever it ends is whenever I think we'll see a Teen Wolf the movie 2 and Wolfpack season 2 announcement, because I really do think that Paramount Plus wants to announce them. I mean, the movie, they seem pretty happy with the results for both. So I don't see why they wouldn't be ecstatic to announce that they're continuing. It's just that they probably can't right now because of the writer strike going on, which is very unfortunate. So moving on to the last piece of news. Damn, we got to do this quick. We're like only 20 minutes in. This live stream may be short as hell. I thought I was going to be on for like an hour, but nah. This is like the quickest live stream I've done. I did not waste any time. Jesus. Let's move on to True Alpha book 2 news. We're going to cover character bios, announce a couple of things, and then show off covers, and we'll probably end the stream there. Unless you guys want to do like a Q&A, ask me questions or whatnot, I'm down for that too. Since we're only like 30 minutes in, we'll probably be done by like half an hour into the stream. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Let me on. I'll make it an hour. I'll make it an hour stream. Nah, bro, I really don't feel like being on here for that long, bro. Like, I just wanted to share the news, give my thoughts, promote my stuff for my book, and just call it a day, honestly, because I've been out all day. It's been a long weekend. Kind of tired. Well, not I haven't been out, but like I've been doing stuff all day. Like I work. I'm back to making videos now, which is cool. Um, Speaking of which, new uploads will be on the True Alpha channel starting I think tomorrow or Tuesday. I have the Scott Delgado Book 2 video recorded. I have the Allison King Book 2 video recorded and the Lamont Valet Jr. one as well. So those will be out on the True Alpha channel. Jades Corner, don't waste your time with Wolf Ass. Bro, if season 2 is actually pretty good whenever that shit comes, like I swear, like I'll be honest and tell people if it's good or not. I'm not gonna cap and be like, oh, it's not good just because I didn't like season 1 and then like I don't know, it carried on to season 2. If it's actually good, I'll tell people if it's good or not. So yeah, let's share my screen and get on with this. All right, so this is like a Google Doc I have of like everything I've been like doing for book 2. I've been kind of like keeping track of things so I don't get lost off track with doing stuff. So yeah, here's the official synopsis. And for the release date, it's coming out May 24th, 2024. So next summer. For those of you guys who don't know, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but for those of you guys who are just coming in, yeah, that's when it's coming out, May 2024, True Alpha Book 2. For the synopsis, it reads, it's been 4 months since the death of Peter Knight, the Enhanced Alpha, Catherine King, the arsonist, and the reveal of Jackson Thompson's family history of his parents being supernatural creatures called were-crocodiles, creatures that pose not only a huge threat to Primal Hills, but the entire state of California as a whole, when a string of deaths alongside the Pacific coastline stack up a few months after Jackson's departure. Scott Delgado, now fully developed with his werewolf powers and abilities, gathers his friends and new allies to come together to figure out a way to not only stop Jackson but find a way to save him if they can. So pretty short synopsis. Not anything too crazy because there's like huge spoilers for book 2 that I don't want to give away with the synopsis, of course. So we're gonna get into character bios right now, and then we're gonna get into the cover reveals, and then that'll be the end of everything I wanted to cover here today. So let's start off with, of course, the main character, Scott Gonzalo Del Gato, who is modeled after the likeness of Tyler Posey, as you all know. So he is the main protagonist of the series. He was born in California in Primal Hills to Jorge and Eliza Delgado on October 18th, 1995. As a human, on August 28th, 2011, he was attacked in the woods on the outskirts of his hometown by the Enhanced Alpha werewolf Peter Knight. This event changed his life, and he was turned into a werewolf. After a final confrontation with Peter and Catherine, Scott realizes he wasn't an ordinary beta werewolf after tapping into a strange, hidden power. He is now a fully fledged, experienced beta with a keen grasp and understanding of his powers and abilities. Scott is a 16-year-old teenage Hispanic male with ties to Mexico due to his parents' heritage. He stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall and sports a skinny but toned, muscular build. Actually, do I want to read this part? Nah, we'll leave that because that's just like physical descriptions. It's not like I want to get like the story stuff, so we'll leave that part out. We'll just move on to Allison. So, of course, next Allison King, deuteragonist of the story, of course, modeled after the likeness of Crystal Reed, love interest of Scott Delgado and cousin of Lamont Valet Jr. She was born in Boston, Massachusetts, to Cyrus and Madison King on September 19th, 1995. As a human, on August 3rd, she moved to Primal Hills, California, and got into a strong relationship with beta werewolf Scott Delgado. She was initially unaware of her family's history as supernatural hunters, whose core mission was to eliminate all supernatural life on the planet. But after being led on by clues left to her by her Aunt Catherine and revealed that werewolves exist through Scott transforming in front of her, she gets wrapped into the world of the supernatural and becomes a huntress, following the footsteps of her parents as a force for good. I think that one other thing we'll add is like the type of like weaponry she carries with her, and then we'll move on to the next character. While acting as a huntress, she possesses 2 dual pistols, a hatchet, a set of throwing knives, an assault rifle, and her bow and arrow. All right, so that's Allison King. Moving on to Lamont Valet Jr., who's modeled after the likeness of Michael B. Jordan, as everybody knows. He's the protagonist of the story, the secondary antagonist of the novel. So Lamont Villay Jr. He's a bad guy in this book 2. I think this is the only book where LJ's he's not really evil per se. I'd say he's more neutral. It just depends on the situation. And he's the love interest for Malia Knight, who is a brand new character who we will get to soon. He was born in Forest Hills, New York, to Lamont and Georgine Villay on July 21st, 1995. As a werewolf, it was hinted at and revealed in the first book that Lamont has a very mysterious past that involves his hometown, Plainfield, New Jersey. As a child, he would be one of the few lucky children to attend the Court of Alpha's gatherings every year due to his family legacy and his father being an alpha werewolf. It was at these meetings that he would meet Derek Knight, who hailed from the legendary Knight bloodline, a bloodline a bloodline with the exclusive gene that allows its members to access the evolved werewolf status. Sometime between 2005 and 2006, he would move to Primal Hills, California, where he would befriend Scott Delgado, Dirk Schroeder, and Claire Schroeder. He would go on to form a strong romantic relationship with Claire Schroeder that lasted from 2006 to early 2011, when she was sent away to boarding school by her father. It was during the summer of 2011 when he began an old ritual found in his father's journals that would allow him to access the powers and abilities of a legendary werewolf, the same status that his grandfather, the famous Beast of Gévaudan, held. He was vital in the defeat of Enhanced Alpha Peter Knight and his cousin Catherine King, being the one alongside Peter to kill Catherine King and dealing the final blow to the Enhanced Alpha. It was after that final blow that he would become an alpha and kill his fourth alpha out of the 5 from different species needed to become a legendary werewolf. So that is LJ's bio for book 2. Moving on to Dirk, who is modeled after the likeness of Dylan O'Brien, of course, a main character and the best friend of both Scott Delgado and Lamont Villay Jr. and the love interest of Lydia Miller. He was born to Misha and Noah Schroeder as a twin alongside his sister Claire Schroeder in San Francisco, California on August 26, 1995 as a human. At a very young age, Dirk and Claire would lose their mother to a highly advanced form of cancer. Her death drove Dirk to become severely depressed, a depression that would mostly be cured through his friendship, early friendship, mind you, with Scott Delgado and eventually Lamont Villay Jr. Throughout his childhood, he would have a longtime crush on his fellow classmate Lydia Miller, a crush that would eventually develop into a blooming relationship his sophomore year of high school after she broke up with her previous boyfriend Jackson Thompson. Throughout the first half of his sophomore year, he would help his best friend Scott Delgado learn and master his newly acquired werewolf powers and defeat the arsonist and the enhanced alpha. So that is Dirk. And then one more thing I'm going to add to Dirk is that he sports his signature hockey mask, a tribute to one of his childhood heroes, Casey Jones, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, to conceal his identity and prevent anyone from discovering who he is in order to protect his father while fighting different supernatural threats, which is pretty cool. If y'all read the first book or read chapter 10, you know Dirk comes in with the hockey mask in the final fight against Peter, which is pretty cool. And he gets absolutely destroyed, which was a pretty funny scene to write too. So yeah. Next, we're moving on to Derek Knight, who's of course modeled after the likeness of Curran Walters, a main character and the adoptive foster brother to Scott Delgado and the cousin to Malia Knight. He was born to Frank and Erica Knight in Primal Hills, California on September 3rd, 1994. As a werewolf, he is the youngest of the Knight siblings and the only male child of Frank and Erica. His older sisters are the deceased Laura and Corrine Knight. Derek grew up extremely arrogant and narcissistic as he looked down on humans for being an inferior species. Blessed with the rare gifts of the Knight bloodline carried for many generations, Derek was always destined for greatness as he was next to inherit the will of the Knights and groom into the patriarch of the family. He would spend a lot of time with his siblings as a child, becoming extremely close with his older sister, Corrine. In March 2006, Catherine King, on her crusade to eradicate the werewolf species, made her first target the Knight family, the founders of Primal Hills. Frank, Erica, and Corrine were killed along with other family members and friends, leaving Peter, Laura, and Derek the only survivors of the blaze. Peter raised Laura and Derek until he suffered a brutal injury in early 2011. After healing prematurely, Peter would go on to kill Laura after his inappropriate advances failed to work on her. He did this in order to add to his developing power. In order to add her developing powers to his own for personal satisfaction, Derek, along with the help of his newly acquired friends and foster brother, avenged his sister's death by taking down his uncle and Catherine once and for all in a grand epic final showdown, which of course was the final battle that took place in True Alpha Chapter 10, for those of you guys who don't know. So that's Derek Knight. Moving on to Lydia Miller, who was modeled after the likeness of Holland Roden. She's a main character and main apprentice of Albert Cassidy and the love interest of Dirk Schroeder. She was born to Nathan and Sarah Miller in Los Angeles, California on October 10th, or oh my God, I can't read, October 7th, 1995. As a human, she grew up spoiled and extremely privileged due to her father being a doctor and her mother being a former movie actress. As a child, she would get bullied in school for being the smartest child in the room. Her intelligence would become such a burden that she would pretend she was just stupid just to fit in with the other kids, to the point where she would eventually involve herself with bad crowds and with the more popular kids such as Lamont, Claire, and Jackson. She would eventually get into a very physically and mentally abusive relationship with Jackson Thompson. One she felt like she was stuck in and couldn't escape until she gained confidence to leave from her new friends. Through the sheer determination and virtue of Dirk Schroeder, someone who she looked down upon initially, Lydia was able to truly feel comfortable in embracing the aspects of herself she once saw as a burden and a weakness. So that is Lydia's bio for book 2. Moving on to Jackson, who is modeled after the likeness of Colton Haynes, the false main antagonist of the novel. So Jackson is not the big bad as a lot of people would initially be led to believe from the covers that I'm about to show you guys in a little bit. And this is the last of the returning character bios. We'll get to new character bios after Jackson, because I'm pretty sure next is Malia. He was born to Michael and Kelly Thompson in Primal Hills, California on July 13th, 1995. As a human with an unactivated were-crocodile gene, Jackson grew up in a rough environment. His father, Michael, would showcase his racist tendencies around his son, an influence that would go on to shape Jackson's childhood and early teenage years. This influence led him to become a local bully, primarily to Scott Delgado, and to a lesser extent, his best friend, Dirk Schroeder. He was the star of the school's varsity soccer team until his sophomore year of high school, following Scott Delgado gaining his new werewolf powers. Eventually, Jackson would discover that his family holds their own secret, the fact that they're a supernatural species called were-crocodiles, which are half man, half crocodile. He would go on to transform into a stage 2 form for the first time the night that Peter and Catherine were killed, creating a new problem for Scott and his friends to deal with, one even worse than the enhanced alpha. So that is Jackson's bio, and we're going to add something else to the end, much like the others. In his were-crocodile state, Jackson Jackson, oh my God, I need to get rid of this because it's throwing me off. In his were-crocodile state, Jackson is an 8-foot-tall monster of a beast. He is essentially an enormous bipedal humanoid crocodile. So for those of you guys who were asking me in the Discord how tall Jackson is, yeah, it's confirmed he's over 8 feet tall, which is crazy because that's taller than Peter stage 3 form. All right, so moving on to the new characters, and then we'll move on to the poster reveals and call it a day. Malia Knight, first of the brand new characters introduced. She's introduced as soon as the first 10, 15 pages of True Alpha Chapter 11, modeled after the likeness of actress Emma Roberts, of course, a main character and the daughter of the deceased and enhanced alpha Peter Knight, and love interest of Lamont Valet Jr. She was born in Phoenix, Arizona to Peter Knight and Jennifer Reynolds on June 6, 1995, as a were-coyote. For much of her childhood, she remained a mystery to most of the werewolf and were-coyote communities, to the point that she never met her extended family on her mother or father's side, with Peter occasionally telling his brother and nieces and nephews stories about his daughter, but never introducing her. When Peter would leave to take care of things in Primal Hill, she was kept under the strict, watchful eye of her mother, who too was an alpha but of the were-coyote species. Her childhood and overall existence were kept from everyone due to a strictly forbidden rule amongst the general supernatural community, and especially the werewolf community. That rule prevents intermingling with another supernatural species due to the risk of a hybrid possibly being created. Should the leaders of the werewolf community find out about the existence of a hybrid or intermingling between a werewolf and another supernatural species, the consequences would be punishable by death. At the age of 10 in the summer of 2005, Malia was sexually assaulted and, word I can't say on YouTube, by her father while he was partaking in one of his power trips. This event would go on to mentally destroy and scar her for many years. She would keep this knowledge to herself due to being afraid of retaliation and backlash from her father. In the fall of 2011, while at a football game for her high school, Metro Tech, which she was like her first high school before she transfers to Primal Hills. During a full moon, while in the parking lot trying to get away from the crowd, she transforms in front of another female high school student and slaughters her brutally but unintentionally. This event set her on the path to making her way to Primal Hills in search of her father. So that is Malia's bio for True Alpha Book 2. Moving on to LJ's pack, the new werewolves that will be introduced in Book 2. We'll start off with Isaac Parrish, who is modeled after the likeness of Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien, what the hell? Daniel Sharman. He is a main character and supporting antagonist. He was born to Logan and Lorelei Parrish on June 26, 1995, in San Diego, California, as a human. Isaac comes from a very abusive background, having a very messed up childhood. His father used to beat down both him and his mother. This led Isaac to grow up very mentally scarred from his childhood traumas, something that would affect his social life at school and him making friends. He was an outcast. No one wanted to be friends with him, and he was the subject of a ton of bullying. He, however, had one thing in life he cherished the most that prevented him from taking his life on numerous occasions: his mother, as he loved her more than anything in the world. Since no one wanted to be friends with him outside of his home, his mother became his best friend, making numerous memories with him to give her son somewhat of a happy childhood. So that is Isaac's bio in True Alpha Book 2. Moving on to Tanya Jovovich, who is the second member of LJ's pack, modeled after the likeness of actress Debbie Ryan, who a lot of you guys may know from the Disney Channel show Jessie. So, yeah, she's a supporting character and supporting antagonist. She was born to two unnamed parents sometime in 1994 in an unknown location. Tanya is a foster child and was put through numerous homes throughout her life. She was known as a problem child because she could never fit into any of the families that adopted her. In 2008, she was finally adopted into a family that she could truly fit in with. She moved in with Mr. and Mrs. Jovovich, a Ukrainian family that had moved to Primal Hills a few years prior. After moving in with them, she would finish secondary schooling at Primal Hills Middle School and move up towards high school. Growing up, she didn't have a surname and was only known as Tanya. And because she liked her new family so much, she took on their last name of Jovovich as her own. So that is Tanya's bio for True Alpha Book 2. And then the last bio we have for today is the last member of LJ's pack, who is named Matthew Johnson, and he's modeled after the likeness of actor Keith Powers, who you guys may know as Nick's best friend from Fear the Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1. So let's get into Matthew's bio. He was born to Austin Johnson and Alyssa Johnson on August 22nd, 1995 in Sacramento, California. Matthew is a comic book nerd. He's a huge Marvel Comics, Image Comics, and DC Comics fan. He is also extremely intelligent, placing him in the top 10% of his graduating class already by his sophomore year. Because of his interest and hobbies, he aspires to be one of the founding fathers of science moving forward in the future, wanting to work with space and the theory of the multiverse. He is acquainted with Lamont, Scott, and Dirk due to their equal share in interest, or in each other's interests, rather, and they all respect each other despite having different friend groups. So that is Matthew's bio for True Alpha Book 2. And that's all the character bios, essentially. So let's move on to the covers. I'm going to open the True Alpha Wiki, go on chapters, share my screen. All right, so This is the official cover for True Alpha Chapter 11, which is the first chapter in the Were Crocodile saga. That saga will begin on August 11th, 2023. So about, let me check the dates. In about 3 weeks, True Alpha will return on Patreon. So for those of you guys who were subscribed on Patreon before during the book 1 era last year and the beginning half of this year, hopefully you guys will consider coming back for more True Alpha over the next like 9 to 10 months as we get through the book 2 stuff. I had an older version of this cover where like everything was kind of all over the place, but I decided to keep the sort of format of the logo of the series and the text kind of clean and kind of in motion with other covers I've been doing for book 2. So yeah, I had to clean this up a little bit, but this is the cover. It features Were Crocodile Jackson in the ocean on the beach of, I think it's Santa Monica State Beach in Los Angeles. So yeah, and this scene is a scene that is featured in the beginning of the book. This is the opening of the book. It's how the book starts. It starts with Jackson attacking this couple who are like college age. And yeah, it's very violent and it's very brutal. The descriptions of how both of these people die is disgusting. Like I actually disgusted myself writing it because it's absolutely insane how both these two people die from Jackson, and it starts the story off with an absolute bang. So yeah, I think in my opinion, I think it's better than True Alpha Book 1's opening for sure. Because with Book 1 and the Wolf Moon's opening, my whole idea was, let me pay my respects to Jeff Davis. Let me do kind of like a love letter homage to the first episode of Teen Wolf, and let me just kind of like do my own thing, but also like pay homage to the first episode by doing scenes that are like similar to scenes you would have seen from the first episode of Teen Wolf. Not like 100% copying, but like doing scenes that are clearly inspired by Teen Wolf episode 1 to pay homage to it, if you understand the context of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so that's chapter 11's cover. That'll be out August 11th. This is chapter 12's cover. I just finished this a couple of days ago. This cover is one of my favorites that I've done. And one thing I'm prioritizing with True Alpha Book 2, like you see how some of the Book 1 covers are kind of mediocre. Like this one's okay, that one's fine, I guess. This one is unacceptable in my opinion. It's totally low quality. What the hell even is this? Like I want to do high quality. This one's one of the better ones that I did for Book 1. I want to provide higher quality art for the covers because I'm holding myself to a higher standard of providing nice art for you guys to look at and see. So yeah, I think the Book 2 covers so far are infinitely superior to Book 1's. Like you can't even debate. I gotta fix this little error. There's like this little mark on Malia. I gotta fix that shit. But yeah, Book 2's cover is pretty fucking badass. You have the first like full body look at Jackson and what he looks like in his Were Crocodile form. He looks absolutely beastly. Bro looks sick. And of course you have Scott Delgado on the top here. He grew out his facial hair over the course of the first and second book, so that's why he has facial hair here. You have Derek, of course, down here looking at something, looking worried, and then you have Allison preparing to do some badass shit. And if y'all are wondering if she's gonna use her dual pistols against Jackson, yeah, Allison be on Demon Time in this chapter. So yeah, looking forward to writing this. I can't wait for this to come out. It's gonna be absolutely sick. Like I can't wait. And this cover is amazing. Like I was like, bro, how am I gonna draw Jackson's Were Crocodile form to where it looks good? And I think this design, being an original design, obviously I took like drew inspiration from like and did references from other drawings I had seen of Were Crocodiles online, but like this single design, like bro, I am happy with it. Like this is badass. So yeah, that's chapter 12. That's obviously right after this. And then this is probably my favorite of the covers for book 2 so far. I just finished this yesterday afternoon. This is the cover for possibly the biggest chapter in the series so far, and it's a chapter that's going to change the game in a lot of aspects in terms of True Alpha. This is the chapter for chapter 13, Cold Blooded, a badass title for a badass cover. Of course, it features Lamont Valet Jr. And I didn't, a couple of people in my Discord noticed, because I announced this in my Discord, but this will be the first chapter that doesn't just have one cover. There will be 4 different covers for this chapter. 4, because it's a huge chapter. It's very important for the series going forward. It's very important for the story of the second book. Hugely important chapter. Possibly the biggest fight of the series happens. You have LJ who fights Scott. It's a brutal battle. I mean, these dudes like bite chunks of flesh out of each other. It's crazy. Like they are going in, and I feel like it's a fight that needs to happen given the context of what happened at the end of the first book and how their friendship was kind of strained in chapter 10 following what LJ did, of course, which was, he stole the kill from Scott. Scott wanted to kill Peter. LJ did it instead. LJ lied to him. Yeah. And this scene right here, a lot of people were like, LJ looks like a vampire. I'm like, nah, it's the scene. Like, Scott had like punched him in the face a couple of times. And this was like the result of like him bleeding from that shit. And this is him like smiling, like he's enjoying it. And the cover's supposed to show his descent into darkness. Like, dude is completely out of his mind in this. And I think this is the chapter where everybody who reads it is going to see a character change, because a lot of people are like, is LJ going to be redeemed? Yes, he is. This is the chapter where it starts, because after he beats the living shit out of Scott, like I'm talking about, Scott damn near dies, like it's brutal as hell. It took Allison calling him a monster for him to realize, damn, I fucked up, bro. What the hell is going on with me? And there's like an in-universe explanation for why Lamont like blacks out and like why he goes in like this crazy berserker state. It has to do with the werewolves on his side of the family, because his grandfather and his dad are susceptible to this kind of stuff too. But that'll be explained in book 3. But yeah, this cover is phenomenal. One of the best I've ever done. One of the best pieces of art I've ever done. I'm extremely proud of it. And like, if I had to show anybody like a piece of artwork from the series, if they're like, bro, what does the artwork on True Alpha look like? I would show them this, because this is a phenomenal cover. And the other 3 covers are going. Oh, and let me also announce, this is the main cover, right? This is the main cover. So this is the cover that most people will get to see. On the alpha tier, there's going to be a cover with Scott on it, and Scott will also have blood on his face and will also be transformed in a stage 1 form. Because as you can see, LJ has his werewolf teeth flashed in his eyes, so he's in stage 1 right now. Scott will also be in stage 1 on that poster. And then, because of the context of what's happening in the story, and there's going to be flashbacks during the fight too, there will be 2 special edition covers for the beta and alpha tier. One with Lamont Valet Jr. from book 1, where he in a stage 1 form with not blood on his face, because of course he hasn't descended into that darkness yet. And then there will be another one with book 1 Scott as well. So yeah, I'm doing a lot for this chapter because it's the biggest chapter of the series so far. It's not even close. And then the last cover, of course, I did this last week. This is the chapter for chapter 5, which features both Malia right here and Allison in the background. This is kind of the chapter where the whole Malia and Allison beef starts. Like, Malia doesn't have a problem with Allison. She really don't care for her too much, but Allison's like, nah, you're Peter Star. Like, fuck you. Like, I don't like you. Why you getting with my cousin? Like, you trying to get into his mind, seduce him and shit. So basically, Allison, she got smoke with Malia. She got smoke from Malia. She does not like her. initially. They become friends over time, but like, yeah, when they first meet, Alex is like, I ain't feeling her. So yeah. But those are all the covers so far. For True Alpha Book 2. I'm working on book 14. Oh my Jesus Christ, I can't talk. I'm working on the cover for chapter 14, which will have Cassidy on the cover and Jackson. So Cassidy will be on his first ever cover. He hasn't been on a cover yet, which will be cool to see. And then yeah, I'll have 5 more covers to do. And I also have the cover prepared to be drawn for chapter 24, which is called Legendary. It's the chapter where Lamont Filet Jr. fights one of the Court of Alpha's members. This is book 3 stuff, and he transforms into a stage 3 form for the first time. So that cover should be pretty insane as well. But yeah, that's it for True Alpha for now. We're 50 minutes in, almost an hour in. We're gonna end the stream here. I'm just gonna go over comments real quick. Cover looks sick. I'm loving this. I can see how your art has improved greatly. Absolutely in love with them. Eligible for Scott. The skin color of Jackson Wilcron was more darker. It would be even more menacing, but I love it. That part of the book had me in tears. Oh, he's talking about the Dirk shit in chapter 10. Yeah, that shit was funny as hell. I was reading that shit again. I was like, bro, this is fucking hilarious, man. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. There's like 7 people left in here. We had like, I think like 14, 15 people at one point. I'm going to record a bunch of videos for the rest of the summer, right? And then I'm going to just release a crap ton of videos in September for when I come back. So yeah, I'm going to be grinding out videos, what ifs, discussions, theories, whatnot for the rest of the summer. And then September, October, November, December, we are locked and loaded for coming back. I'm trying to get back to the top of my game. I was running the Teen Wolf game like 6 months ago. But then stuff happened. I'm trying to get back on top. So hopefully y'all stay with me on this journey as we bounce back, get my channel stats back up because it's been looking kind of rough the last couple of months. And yeah, thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video, whatever I plan to do next. So yeah, peace.